Yeah, so we're
Why do you
cutting this
come back
part.
to that? I come back. You're drowning baby cows, dude.
These cows. Get in here! Oh, these cows are drowning!
Still watching
drowning
that.
baby cows now. Look at these guys.
I love these cows. I mean, I love that clip.
God.
But welcome everyone to the first episode of the Kings Row Cafe. I'm Jeremy.
Yeah, welcome everyone.
With my host Connor.
Yeah.
You can find us where, Connor?
So I'm on Twitter. You can find me at Recursive Fruit.
Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter as well at Jerplex. All the links will be in the description, or if you just want to be a smartass, sound it out. All right. So
if we remember to do it. But
yeah, if we remember.
Screw it. Yeah,
right.
yeah. All right. Welcome to the
Welcome.
podcast, everyone. We've been planning this for a little while.
We
Yeah.
have been. It's delayed, really late. Oh, it's really delayed, however you want to put it. Should have been out 2 weeks ago, and here we are 2 weeks later.
We started talking about doing this like over a month ago, too. That was the thing. I mean,
course.
creativity takes time. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, exactly. Rome wasn't built in a day. Period.
Ah, ooh. A little bit of AP World History for you there.
Hey, but for those of you who don't know who we are, even though we just said who we are, but like what we like to do, this podcast is going to just wrap up our hobbies pretty much, slash what we find entertaining in the social media world, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, of course.
So
not to break it down, but like what we're probably going to do is we're going to talk about some gaming stuff. We're going to talk about some tech stuff. Like just in general. I mean, that's kind of what, I mean, would you agree, Jeremy? That's kind of where this podcast is headed.
That's
like
where it's headed. Yep. We are on
do you want to talk about like politics? We could talk about politics.
political commentate. No.
Political.
None. No. But I guess if you want to just jump right into it, let's just start by how the week's been planning this. Anything crazy, throwing a loop to actually being able to record this?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, been having a pretty laid back week. I mean, I've been going to the gym recently, as you know, Jeremy. Getting them gains.
And on the contrary,
Healthy body,
I have
healthy mind.
actually slowed down. As much as I want to keep going, I just haven't gone. But that's going to change. I'm going to head back, get the gains, the creatine.
Creatine. Actually, my brother was telling me creatine is he was telling me about it. It's like something where your muscles look bigger, but if you don't do it properly, like you get water in your muscles.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I do. All it is really, I'm no expert, honestly, but from what I've heard, if you mix it into your post-workout shake, it's supposed to increase your muscle mass. So although you're not going to be quote-unquote stronger, because you're supposed to be after working out, obviously, it's just going to help you look stronger. Like, it's going to help define your biceps, your thighs, calves, back, chest, etc. Like,
yeah, the proteins for building the actual strong muscle.
Exactly.
What's the name for it? The creatine.
The creatine.
Am I saying that right?
Yeah, the creatine.
Gotcha.
But,
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll start working that into my diet. I will see.
Yeah, do that. It's expensive though. But I'm
Jeremy,
back.
let me ask. Were you? Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
I was going
who were
nowhere.
you,
So what do
were
you want to say?
Oh sure. I was gonna ask. What have you been watching on YouTube recently?
A lot of Minecraft videos. A lot of Minecraft. We're gonna get into that later, but not in the way I think our viewers, listeners might think. But a lot of Minecraft, gaming in general, woodworking videos actually are just hypnotizing. I'm telling you, I could watch.
Wait. I want to make sure I heard you right. Did you say woodworking videos?
Woodworking, like lathes, building like barn doors, tables, chairs, like they're just so mesmerizing. I could watch a marathon of that.
Wait, all right. Have you seen Parks and Rec before?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, you're Ron Swanson.
All right. All right. No, but like just because I don't want to say Yeah, it is me, because like I'm getting into that field, I guess you could say, for my career, but I just really enjoy watching. Oh my gosh, I just really enjoy watching how things are being made, pretty much like to show how it's made. Like I love watching.
Ooh, I was just about to say how it's made. Okay.
Yeah, but what about you?
Hey,
What have you been watching?
what have I been watching? All right, so this is gonna sound really stupid. I've been watching a lot of Mr. Beast. I don't know if you've seen his videos.
Mr.
Do you know who he is?
Beast. No, but I know how to Beast. We're not shouting them out because they're big enough already, but
Nah, Mr. Beast, he essentially just like does stupid challenges like, all right, first person or last person to take their hand off the Tesla wins it. Or, like camp on a deserted island for 24 hours and, if you do it, you get $10,000. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's just some like really rich dude and he just like does challenges for money. Like, I don't know, the last one I saw was like, like a first person to stop running on a treadmill got like $20,000 or something. No, sorry, they got $1,000 for every mile they ran. So the guy that ended up winning like almost $20,000 because he ran 20 miles. It's crazy. I know. Yeah.
It's pretty much saying, like, I have all this money, I'm bored, let's make people compete for my money.
No, I guess the modern day Hunger Games.
Yeah, but not like survival to the death, but like these random, quote unquote, entertaining things to watch. But
well, actually, speaking of that, I guess this kind of wraps into a little bit. They actually had a video. It came out a little while ago. It was sponsored by Apex Legends. They essentially did a like a battle royale with it was like 50 YouTubers or something like that. Where essentially they all went paintballing and they just put it was like this massive paintball arena. They put paintball guns everywhere, and essentially it was like it was like they blew an air horn, go run, and yeah. I mean, not that I don't play Apex Legends. No, sorry, I don't play Apex Legends. But I don't know. I thought it was cool. I was like, wow, it's like Fortnite in real life.
Yeah, but speaking of Fortnite, have you seen the backlash that it's gotten in the past few months or weeks, however long mechs have been out? Like, have you seen it?
I've heard it. I haven't. I can tell you, I have not picked up Fortnite in weeks. Probably. Yeah, I still got it installed, but I have not picked it up. So bring me up to speed. What's up?
I don't even play it either. Like, I haven't played since maybe season 6. Like, but all I've seen / heard is that these giant mechs that I think it takes 2 people to control, 1 to walk and 1 to shoot. But apparently, if you have full shield and health and you're in a building, 1 button with the rocket launchers, like, insta down anyone. Like, anyone not in a mech. So...
Oh, okay. So yeah, just no chance, like...
There's no chance. You see it or hear it, you're done. But there's recently been a backlash, like...
Well, I mean, that doesn't sound balanced.
Yeah, it's not. But...
Yeah.
And speaking of balance, though, they actually nerfed turbo building, or whatever it's called. So now it's... They nerfed the mechs, but then when they nerfed the turbo building, it pretty much just put the mechs back up on the pedestal. So, like,
okay. Now,
they're trying.
Now, for our viewers out there that don't play Fortnite, because I totally know what you mean by turbo building, but can you just explain what turbo building is?
I can't, because... Like, I guess it's just I really can't. I mean, from what I know, like, there's Builder Pro, which is just a setting to change your keybinds to help build in the game, because that's one of the main aspects. But turbo building, I've never heard of that. So I can't really elaborate on that. Like I said, I haven't even played since who knows when. But
Oh shit. All right. Well, hey, look at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at us talking about nothing we know about.
Yeah, we're just stating our unbiased opinion that we have no proof.
Now, in my experience with gaming, in all of my years of gaming, I could probably say that just from the sound of that doesn't even sound fair and balanced. So
yeah, and like I actually watched Tim the Tap Man for like 10 minutes, and in that 10 minutes, I saw 2 perspectives. My fault. Him in the mechs with like his teammate, and how quick they can just eliminate a squad or 2 squads, even if they're lucky, which is like 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And then on the flip side, you see him like looting a house, no mech, like he's just starting, and then you just hear the mech, out of nowhere, and you can see it in his face, like, I'm gonna die. Like, you can't escape it because... Wait, what?
Jesus. No, I was gonna say, you know what I imagine when you're saying that? I imagine, you remember the Black Ops 2 Origins cutscene with the giant walking robots, and at the very end you just hear like step it. That's exactly what I feel like he's doing. He's in the house. He's like, oh, just minding my own business. Oh, hey, look, a blue AR.
It's like, nope.
Oh, headphone warning.
Yeah. No, but speaking of Black Ops 2 and Treyarch in general, how do you think they did compared to Fortnite, Apex? How do you think Blackout compares to the Battle Royale?
So, I mean, in all reality, it was the first, like, really AAA company to go and do something in this whole Battle Royale scene. And, I mean, the history with it is, you got to know that they dropped the Black Ops 4 campaign early in development, so that way they could start building this. So... I mean, they did have a lot of time to put it together, and honestly, I think their finished product came out pretty well. It plays. It's a fun game, in my opinion. Like, I have no problem. I just, hop on for a couple of rounds of Blackout. The only thing is that, it's different from the normal Call of Duty experience, which, again, I guess is what they were going for.
Yeah.
It's just different. That's all I feel. I mean, I personally enjoy it.
Yeah, and what I really actually enjoy is how when they released it, like back in the early days of the game, they said they were going to do it with a Treyarch twist. And boy, did they actually do that. Like, being able to play as all the throwback characters, even if like they're not as relevant now in the storyline, zombies or campaign, just being able to play as them and the voice lines, it's just hilarious. Because I remember just the other night, or was it last night? You're playing Ted, the bus driver from Zombies.
That was.
And
yep.
all of his interactions were just amazing.
Corporation's bus line.
Yeah, they're just amazing.
I really wish his taunt had been like, "Hey, asshole," or something like that. From the,
it's like, hey,
getting kicked off the bus.
Exactly. It's like his eyes turn red like they used to. But
Vietnam flashbacks.
Oh my god. No, but speaking of Blackout, still, like, how many games of Blackout do you think... Well, I don't even know what I was going to say with that. But more of, like, the translation between Blackout and multiplayer. Do you think they're similar? Obviously, they're not. But, like, do you think the guns are the same? Like, the time to kill, health, like, and there's shields and armor, but, like...
Well, yeah. So, I mean, there's a couple of things to take into that because, COD oh my god, I'm blanking right now. In multiplayer, everyone is 200 hit points, 150?
I think it's 200.
I forget which one it is.
I don't know.
I think it's 200 too. Yeah. So, I mean, technically, when you spawn in Blackout, you're only spawning with 150. The thing that kills me is the armor, which I get it. You have to do something. You got to give some, like, equivalents like Fortnite shield. Like, I get it. But... it's like the time to kill with the guns. If it's just 2 people in a gunfight without any armor on, honestly, to me, it feels pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But as soon as you're up against someone with level 3 armor, bro, it's like you're taking a Spitfire. You're just you're shooting them right in the back and the head, and you reload, and they're like, oh hi, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, it's
and
like a whole clip does like
yeah,
not even a quarter to half of their health. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And I get it. It's balanced because then after that you need to go and you need to repair the armor. And if you're not actively looting, you're not finding the armor for it, so you can't quite repair your level 3 armor. So I get it. But honestly, probably one of the most annoying things for me right now is just the time to kill when you're shooting at someone with level 3 or level 2 armor. Yeah. And especially if you're in a gunfight when both of you have level 3 armor, bro, it's like you're standing there, you're jumping around, you're crouching prone.
It's like you're playing Ring on Rosie, reload. Like, who's gonna mess up first?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's not a really in COD, there's a lot of like, if you shoot first, then the vast majority of the time, unless you get some COD BS, you're gonna win the gunfight. Where with level 3 armor, I mean, it's a whole different ballpark.
Yeah, and I only ask that because I'm very into like competitive esports, but I only ask that because the professional Call of Duty players that I watch on Twitch, they usually warm up with Blackout, and then they hop into a game. Like, and it just amazes me how they can just take either a slow-paced game in Blackout, because it can vary between a slow pace or a fast pace depending where you land, and then just translate it into a very team-coordinated esport.
Right.
Like, doesn't that just amaze you? And mind you, they're squads, but competitive is played 5-on-5. Like, isn't that...
Part of me wants there to be some type of competitive Blackout, like there is, competitive Fortnite and competitive Apex and everything like that. I wish there was maybe some like competitive playlist or something like that. I'm not a game dev. I have no idea how that would even work, but I don't know. Like that feels like something they could add. And honestly, though, with COD Black Ops 4 kind of coming, we're in, what is it, August, almost September here.
Yeah. On the date of recording this,
life cycle.
It is August 30th, so the new Modern Warfare should be out within a few months. But actually, speaking of that, I just want, because I know we could probably talk about Blackout for a while, but just to jump into the new one.
Oh, of course.
Did you hear, actually talking about professional again, did you hear about the CDL and the franchising that is happening?
I did, actually, yes. What are your, for our viewers that maybe aren't as, competitive gaming Overwatch, what does franchising mean, and what are your thoughts on it?
I'll back up even more. CDL is the Call of Duty League, pretty much. Similar to the Overwatch League, but Call of Duty. And franchising is just city-based teams. So instead of having the big organizations like FaZe, Optic... Unfortunately, there's a sad story with Optic, but I'm not going to talk about that.
Don't put this Optic fanboy back in his feels here.
No, oh my gosh, in the heart. But no, but they're just pretty much like it's going to be like the MLB, NBA, or an NFL, like city-based teams, but it's going to be global. So you can have a Florida team, a LA team. Probably a team in London, Europe, well, obviously, Asia, Australia, like all over the world. And
so just to clarify, you got all those teams. We got the teams that are on the scene right now. You got like Optic Gaming, you got FaZe, you got all the big names like that. Those are, it's not really like a named like hometown. That where they come from and everything like that, but it's not like, I'm from Houston, Optic, woo. It's you be talking. This is the Houston Call of Duty World League team, here. This is the Boston Call of Duty World League team. This is
the best example I can give. We're gonna jump real quick into the Overwatch League. Is the Houston Outlaws was quote unquote the Optic team because Optic bought that team, but as some events happened recently, I've noticed a huge decline in the Houston fan base ever since the Optic buyout. And I don't blame them because Houston is currently not looking good. But back into the CDL, like, it's city-based teams. Call of Duty, I believe, has a much bigger audience, and it's gonna even get a bigger one because it's lost a few in the past. Like a few people.
We need not talk about Infinite Warfare.
Oh god.
I'm sorry, Jeremy. What level are you in Infinite Warfare?
Not even Prestige 1.
What did you end on? Oh, you know what level you
were? I did not touch it. What was that?
I know I'm like level 22. I think we played it launch night, and then after that we were like, yeah.
I'm just gonna play Overwatch.
Not to be fair, Modern Warfare Remastered when that came out, I had actually a couple prestiges up on that.
I didn't even play that honestly because I just knew how different it would be. Sorry to interrupt you. Like I just knew how different it would be. Like a remastered game is always going to be different. They're not going to hit the nail on the head all the time for that. But
I think they did well though.
Yeah, but seeing for the Modern Warfare release, like it looks great, but from the reviews I'm hearing, they're mixed. Like the time to kill is too low. I mean too high. Sorry. So you could pretty much laser people, but it's like a slow paced game, which I don't have a problem with because it forces you to slow down and check your areas or around you. And they're taking out the mini map, which I'm a fan of because if you're pro, you have like who knows how much it costs, but like the gaming headsets, like you can hear people, and awareness is such a big thing in that game that if you open a door, you can hear it across the map. So
right.
versus always trying to look at the top left to see where they actually are, you can just dial yourself in more and actually, I don't want to say put yourself there, but you can definitely get an advantage if you're not always looking up to the top left. Sorry, I was trying to finish that off.
No, yeah. No, and I mean, just to clarify, I mean, as far as at least what I've heard, there's still going to be a perk that you're going to be able to equip in your custom class that is going to allow the minimap to reappear.
Oh, really?
It's just not. Oh, I think so. Yeah, no, that's like I watch like Marley 13 and stuff like that. They're talking about I think there's going to be a perk coming out that lets you have to equip it. It's not by default. And it's balanced because I'm assuming there's going to be other things in that same perk class where you can either get a minimap or you might not be able to use like mobility, or it might be minimap or dead silence or something like that, unless you run like perk greed 2 or something like that. So I mean, no, I totally get what you're saying in terms of the awareness. I do, however, disagree with the slow-paced game mode, and this is actually something that I've kind of talked about a little bit. Is that I feel like this COD is going to have something for everyone.
Really?
And yes, so because they're bringing things back like 20v20 domination, and 20v20 domination. Come on, like that's like ground war to the next level. You know what I mean? That's gonna be that's gonna be action packed, like fast game modes.
Right,
and they also have the 2v2 mode, which is gonna be super quick games.
And I believe
that's now, however, that's.
What are you saying?
Oh, go ahead. No, I was gonna say, with the 2v2s, yes. So then you have that. So that's a more strategic game mode. Or you're gonna have your classic 8v8 domination. So I think, yes, the time to kill, I don't know, they might still be working on that, but I think it may not be as big of a deal. It's the time to kill is just gonna kind of be, it's gonna play differently depending on the game mode. Because I don't think you're gonna notice a longer time to kill on 20v20 domination, to be honest with you. But you definitely would probably notice a longer time to kill on the 2v2s.
Oh, yeah.
The 2v2 maps.
I don't know. Did they say or announce, like, the natural regeneration's coming back? Is that the thing, right? Versus the stim shot.
No, you don't need to.
Okay, yeah. So, because I'm just imagining, you hop into a 2020 domination or whatever, the kill feed is just constant. Versus,
God.
like you said, a 2v2.
You're not wrong.
Like, a 2v2 would be slow and methodical. Like, that 2v2, I can definitely see like the professional players move towards just to practice like staying alive. And
of course. And now I know with the 2v2s, there is no health regeneration.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that.
Interesting thing. Yeah. So your team starts off with 200 total hit points. Each team or each person has 100 hit points themselves. So foreseeably, if you had one teammate that hasn't been shot at, they have 100 hit points. But you let's say you killed someone, but you got shot at a little bit, you only have 19 hit points.
Yeah.
So your team's total hit points is then 119. So I mean, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, especially if you for just like warm up games and stuff like that, like just trying to hone in like your shot and get the thumbs on point for the day. Like,
hop into some 2v2. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
But
I mean, back to what I was saying though. This game's going to have a lot for everyone. I mean, if you're someone where you're like, I don't want to play the 2v2 ever, that's fine. You can go back to a more classic 8v8 COD experience, and that's still there for you. If you're like, I'm a ground war freak, you got your 20v20 domination. Or if you're looking for something a little more strategic, maybe like, Overwatch and stuff like that, they're going to have more strategic game modes, which I think is really good because it's going to bring in a lot of the old school people that were used to a nice, fast COD. But then it's also going to bring in a lot more of the people that are more down for like this strategic, like esports game.
Yeah. Esports?
Like Overwatch, Gear, esports,
No, but speaking of professional Call of Duty, you're hearing it here first, everyone. We're going pro. We are jumping into that scene.
Whoa.
And we are going pro.
What he means is we're buying PS4s and we're just going to spend the rest of our life playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, so we currently both have Xboxes, and we've noticed the flaws with the servers, but I personally do want to attempt to try to go pro because since it's franchising and how many cities will be freed up, like the 50 states in the United States, I know not all 50 are gonna have them, but like almost like 75% of the states will have a team. So that makes it easier for like up and coming players to get a spot, pretty much. But obviously, you have to prove yourself, and that's why I believe I could definitely do it because, yeah, but yeah, I'm babbling.
Well,
now,
we got
so.
a lot of we got a lot of grinding to do. So just for the viewers, we play right now. I mean, our primary game's Overwatch, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like we're gonna jump on something. We're gonna jump on some Overwatch competitive. And so we play a lot of that. But in the past, we've played a ton of COD. My first COD was MW3 that I played.
Yeah.
And I've pretty much played every COD since. Yeah.
Yeah, my first was Black Ops 1. I thought it was amazing, and then Black Ops 2 came out. Wow, yeah, but just playing Call of Duty.
Back in the quick scoping days, Jesus.
Honestly, but just playing Call of Duty for who knows how long, just for Infinite Warfare to screw it up, and then me just hop into Overwatch and just, I don't want to say fall in love, but like, it just grabbed me. Like, it was like, this is a much better game. You're gonna play it, and I've been stuck since. And it's time to see if my thumb still got it.
Pisses you off to all high ends.
Oh, I've broken a TV. I have, and it was an accident. I will admit it was an accident, but I've broken a TV, and I'm just gonna leave it at that for Overwatch. For
just
like
leave it at that.
Part.
How about that?
But actually, speaking of Overwatch, the playoffs are coming up. How do you feel about them?
Yes, they are. Well, I mean, so I don't know. I got mixed feelings. So the I think it's going to be interesting with 2-2-2 lock. And part of me wishes that for the pros they didn't have 2-2-2 lock. Really? And I feel like we're going to see a lot less creativity in this round of the playoffs where we would have from last year's playoffs. Again, I get it. Like it make 2-2-2 does make for, somewhat more interesting games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, someone's at my front door. Ignore that. But 2-2-2 does make for, some more interesting games, but you're also like, I don't know. My whole thing with the 2-2-2 has been you're losing the creativity of you. All right, so you can't run goats. You can't run four tanks, 2 supports.
Yeah.
You can't run triple DPS anymore. Like, it does take some of the creativity away from that. And not that while in my diamond game I want triple DPS coming up. I feel like if anyone's going to play triple DPS, the pros are going to play triple DPS, and I feel like that would be a lot more interesting to see in the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. You're seeing a lot more interesting Overwatch at that point.
Yeah,
so not that I'm not excited for these playoffs. I'm just, I don't know.
And
I don't want it to be like back how GOATS was.
Yeah, because GOATS really ruined the meta in my opinion. Because I don't want to say that because obviously it has its pros and cons, but just being trapped. And for me, I know I'm a main tank main. I can flex to off tank, but I really enjoy being able to play Reaper, Hanzo, McCree when I can. But if you're in a 3-3 meta and you just say, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna play DPS and throw off the whole comp, that's a huge risk. Either you gotta pop off and just carry for your team, or quickly realize that you have to switch to the filling role. And with the pros making the switch, with the pros making the switch, it definitely shows the audience and all the people in the competitive playlist on the public one. It definitely shows them the different options that there are. The bunker, dive, death ball, those 3 huge metas, I really believe are gonna shine in the playoffs only because of the maps. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I hear what you're saying.
And for those who don't understand that, each map in Overwatch is obviously different, but the 3 metas that I just named, dive, death ball, and bunker, each map has its peak. So for example, King's Row, it's a great death ball comp, which is you have your Rhine and Zarya, and then close range and a possible ranged DPS like a Hanzo, but it just thrives on that map because everything is close quarter and you can just get up in the enemy's face and just wreck them. Versus a map like Ilios, like say Ruins for example, it's wide open. Dive can definitely thrive.
I would not be playing, especially on Ilios well. You're not running Death Ball on Ilios well.
Oh, no.
If you don't run an Orisa on Ilios well, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, and that's why I really enjoy the 2-2 lock. Like, that's my own opinion because it forces everyone to counter swap one, which is huge, and no one really did that until now. But it definitely, like, you can see the cycle. Like, if the enemy is running a bunker, depending on the map, the best way to counter it either will be Death Ball or dive. You have those two options. And then if you dive, they're going to switch probably, or not even, they can switch up their DPS players a little bit just to counter you, and then you might need to switch to Death Ball, and vice versa. Like, it's a constant cycle, which is...
Assuming you have teammates that are competent, not one trick
exactly.
widow.
And it has me questioning, like, with all these heroes coming out, like Sigma was the latest release, which he's a great Rhine, and like, I don't want to say Winston, but like a great Rhine Winston hybrid, because you can constantly put up and put down your shield to get closer to them, but at the same time you can put it up and put it down to back up out of a fight. Like, does that make sense?
No, that makes sense. And I mean, here I want to ask you a question about Sigma. I mean, bringing Sigma into this, I mean, it's kind of, he's still kind of in the phase where everyone's still trying to like figure out how to play him like the best.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Winston was along initial launch. Like, a lot of people can play it, but it's like, where does he work with best coming up into this? And so let me ask you, I mean, do you think he plays better in like a double shield tank comp? Or would you find would you rather run like a Zarya with a Sigma and use him in place of a Reinhardt? He's a little more of a more mobile Reinhardt in that sense.
Now that's when I say it all depends on the map. Like, if it's a control map, then I can definitely say run a Rissa Sigma. But if it's like a payload map like Rialto and you're attacking, you could probably run a Sigma Zarya, but maybe a Winston Sigma will be better because you can just create the space with Winston, let Sigma get up there, put his shield, and then let Winston back up, and vice versa with the Zarya bubbles.
Then let Torb run the pirate ship. Yeah!
Exactly. Torbjorn!
Yeah. For those who don't know, I have a Torb Smurf that is currently like one game out of master right now. So I love my Torbjorn, and I one trick him. I literally just go into the lobby, I mute my mic, I don't say a damn thing until I get the 4-man. Of course, but I get the 4-man molten core, and literally in the mic, headphone users beware. I just scream. And then that's the entire lobby. 90% of the time, it's either a "what the fuck" or like everyone just starts dying. Sorry, I don't mean to talk about myself like that, but you know, I figured people would enjoy that. I just scream into the mic.
Yeah, but like, to go back to ourselves and our ranks, what is on your main account? With the 2-2 lock roles, roll queue, whatever. What are your individual ranks? And if you can give any tips to anyone who wants to progress themselves, because I know for myself, you and our friend Flaco have been carrying me, and I am perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I gotcha. So I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but I do. I was playing last night, so I do have a good feel for that.
I think I have.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, right here. Okay.
If you got it up.
So your tank.
What do I got? What am I?
Your tank is 3189. Your damage is 3170, and your support is 3246.
I mean, I'm pretty consistent at least.
Yeah, you are. And for me, like, when I let you guys carry me, like, I don't want to play support. Like, yeah, it's nice to just let you carry me if I'm a support. Not saying I'm not doing anything. I'm obviously keeping you up. Yeah, shout out Sam.
Shout out Sam, our support.
But
support
like,
carry
when you
right
and Flaco, when you and Flaco roll for tanks, like, I know you have an amazing Orisa, and I know he has an amazing Hog, but you guys have the ability to flex onto Reinhardt and Zarya, which, although it might not be like the equivalent to your Orisa Hog, but it's still a diamond level, like, tanks. So then instead of wanting to stay back and just keep you guys up, like, I want to do something, like, I want to be effective in the game. So I just chose DPS, and you guys got me from 2,600 to 3,009. Thank you. Well, it was actually like 30-45, but I lost my last 2 games every time I queued for DPS by myself. But I know what I'm capable of as a tank role. Like, I was playing earlier as Zarya. I played 3 games in a row. I carried my team all 3 games. The first map, I had like a 78% average energy. But then, like, the next 2
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah, like, although I might have flexed to, like, Diva or Roadhog, my Zarya in those 3 games were just, like, outstanding. Like, I finished with, if not gold damage, gold elims. Like, I was there.
I mean, if it was 78% charge too, I mean, you're doing your job.
Yeah, like, I'm doing my job.
No one can look at you and be like, Zarya's not doing anything. If you got 78% average, energy, you're in the fight. You're in the heat of it.
Yeah, and
so
sorry to interrupt. What were you saying?
No, go for it.
Okay, well, what I was saying, to give everyone my rank, my tank roll is currently 2856. My damage, like you heard, is 3009. And my support is 2714. But disclaimer, Season 7, everyone. Look at my Season 7.
You gotta bring this up.
I have to bring it up. Look at my Season 7 rank. I am 3489. I peaked at 3489. You wanna
one game off of Masters.
One game.
Oof.
You want me to briefly discuss about that game? Real quick, I remember it vividly.
I mean, obviously you still remember
me.
it. I mean,
like,
it still eats like your nightmares here.
Yeah,
so please, what happened that game?
So,
what brought you from that game to here?
I was in, I think it was Volskaya. Holy crap, it was Volskaya. Yeah. I was playing Reinhardt, and I had a Zarya in chat with me, but we had a Hanzo and Sim as our DPS. And I think maybe a Junkrat too, with a Mercy solo heals. Very descriptive. I don't know how I remember this, but
game's obviously scarred you.
We get rolled on defense. All right, no big deal. Like, it happens. But on offense, we roll them on the first point, and as soon as we attempt to attack the second point, we got a tick. That's amazing. We can, like, in my head, I'm going, okay, we didn't get it, but we can back out and go back in. One of my DPS, I don't remember, one of them switched to Torbjorn. And at the time, he was not now. He was his old Torbjorn. And
good lord.
He comes into chat, says, and I quote, "You guys suck. Why am I carrying?" I click tab to look at my stats, and as Reinhardt, I had silver elims and damage. And I'm just like, bro, what? I'm carrying you right now as Reinhardt. You're doing nothing. And he got so upset by me saying that, he left the game.
Wow.
And
Overwatch isn't toxic.
Yeah, and we just lost. And since then, like, the next 3 to 4 games, I've had a lever or a thrower. So I dropped right back into play. But that's it. So we're not going to talk about that anymore. Let's talk about good things.
A classic Overwatch sob story right there for you.
But actually,
play the world's smallest violin.
But to go back to the Overwatch League real quick, I bought Overwatch for my PC, and I'm awful at it. Like, I will admit I'm awful, but I can play, like, maybe Diva or a Hog to, like, a very exceptional, I guess, like, not amazing, but
the less mechanically skilled characters.
Exactly. The ones when I can get away with standing still and pointing and shooting, pretty much. But
I mean, yeah.
But I linked that account to my, well, it's already my Blizzard, but I was watching the Overwatch League. I apparently was, because yesterday I logged into Overwatch and I got granted Overwatch League tokens. I'm like, okay, let's go see how much I have on this account. I got granted 1,008 Overwatch League tokens. And I'm just sitting there like, I only watched maybe like 1 or 2 games. Like, there's no way I could have gotten this much. I was like, hey.
Sorry, are you complaining?
I was like, I'm not gonna complain. I bought so many skins. I bought the Lucio emo. Like, I was ready.
Oh wait, Mr. Oh my God, Mr. Pay to Win over here.
All right. Like, I just found that so funny.
No, if you're gonna play Lucio, you gotta have that emote.
Oh, of course, which I'm probably never going to because my wall riding skills are awful. Like, I don't have the coordination to do that. But real quick, just
the Lucio ball.
I can't even play Lucio ball. But real quick, I don't think you mentioned this, but like, any tips for anyone wanting to like not get into Diamond, perhaps, but like just to get out of their current rank into the next one? Because the only thing I can say really, and what I was talking with someone yesterday about, if you can get a great Orisa Hog, no matter what other role you play, like, if you can just support them, like, for example, like, the best example I can give, like, on Rialto, you and Flaco are holding a choke, alright?
Yeah.
And say if I'm playing Mei or Hanzo, whoever, like, if I see someone trying to flank, I'll call it out, yeah, but, like, I know there's a slim chance that our other teammates will do anything about it, so I'll just, like, call them out, and if I'm playing Mei, wall them off, or Hanzo, just Sonic Arrow, because even though I'm calling it out, like, it gives everyone the visual to see where they are. Like, it's just the little things like that are so huge, because, like, if we have a Mercy pocketing you, and I call it out and they don't see it, or wherever, like, they should back up, obviously, and just give them space and let you guys back up, because you guys know what you got to do. Like,
yeah. So I want to say, I got 2 things I want to say, and then we should probably actually wrap up this segment and move on to the next one. But yeah, let me get my 2 cents in here. So first thing is usually, like, with that, if you're talking on Rialto, like that specific situation right there. So really, I feel like for Flaco and me, our target priority is the front line, and that is where I want to say 90% of my attention usually is. Okay. So when I say focused on the front line, what does that mean? That means I'm focusing on trying to burn shield. I'm focusing on trying to...
Can I just simplify it and just say, like, the enemy counterpart of you and Flaco?
Essentially. I'm more likely than not, most of my focus is on their main tanks. Okay. Because if you get that main tank pick, that makes it that much harder for them to win the team fight. It's not all the time, but if you can get a main tank pick like that, that usually just completely stops the entire push from them. And then in order to do that, a lot of things like, if you're playing Orisa, like if I'm playing Orisa versus a Reinhardt, I have to keep in mind how much shield this Reinhardt has, because that is essentially his ability to push forward towards me. Yeah. So if I'm constantly keeping that Reinhardt shield, roughly like, and not like always broken, but in a state where like he can't just keep leaving it up, that makes it easier for our DPS to kind of start putting in picks. And it also makes it incredibly difficult for them to approach me as an Orisa. What's a Reinhardt going to do? A Reinhardt's going to charge me. I'm going to fortify. Oh, hi there, buddy. Let me just...
exactly. And then your team just puts all their resources into him. Like...
Exactly. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, 90% of my attention is at those main tanks, but when you're calling out those flankers and stuff like that, while I may not be looking at them, I'm keeping that information in the back of my head, like, okay, I know I'm working on this Reinhardt right here, but you just called out a Doomfist that's taking the high ground to my right. So I'm going to make sure that I'm listening for that sound awareness, for that, for him charging his punch or something like that, so that way he doesn't come flying out of nowhere, punch me into a wall, and then I get picked. So a lot of that, and a lot of that really just comes down to like communication. And so I think, everything that you do on that DPS and dealing with those flankers and stuff like that just makes it so that way I can focus on the main tank, but also while calling that out, it goes and it lets me, still get an awareness for the game. So that way I know, okay, maybe their main tank is right here, but maybe the other, 4 players are using a sim TP to get behind us. Exactly. I need to know that. Or else I'm just going to be blindly shooting at Reinhardt, and then I'm going to get shot at my butthole, and that's going to be it. 1, 2, 3, Rialto.
Now, just to throw this in there, just to play the counterpart, the devil's advocate, whatever you want to call it. What if you're trying to rank up, you're playing your best role, but you get into a game, no one's in comms. What can you do?
No one's in comms. That's a tricky one.
Now,
that's actually a good one.
Do you try to take the lead, or do you play a character that can step back and watch what everyone's doing and see what you need to do for them?
So I don't know if it would be more or less a character switch. Like I would still like if the other, if my other teammates playing Zarya, I'm still gonna run Reinhardt. But maybe in that situation, I'm not nearly as aggressive. Like if I can see a Mercy that maybe looks isolated in their backline, like maybe I could hit that pin. If I was playing in a 4-stack,
unbind your pin button.
People in game chat. Well, all right, that's a conversation for a different day. But no, if I'm just solo queuing and I got no one else in team chat, I know in my head I'm not going for that Mercy pin because no one's gonna help me.
Yeah.
But if I'm playing where I got 6 people in, I'm gonna call it out and just be like, hey, I'm getting a little aggressive. I'm gonna do this.
Okay,
so I guess really what it comes down to is if we're not in team chat, more or less, I won't go for that. I'm more in a passive, keep the shield up position to get grouped up as a team to just kind of swarm with numbers in that sense, rather than going for individual picks here and there that might be huge if I can hit them. If there's no communication there, then essentially, okay, I got the Mercy, and Reinhardt just got picked, so your main tank's down, so now they're just going to steamroll right through. So
yeah. Well, that's a great...
And I guess, and so...
Sorry.
No, actually, I was going to say one more thing. No, I wanted to actually get my the one that. So this is my tip for anyone just in general who wants to rank up. And this is going to sound maybe corny. You might have heard this before, but accept your role. If you get placed in golds, don't go, oh man, what the hell? Why did I get placed in gold? I know I'm at least a mid to high plat, because let me tell you, everyone in their Overwatch career has gone at one point and been like, well, why did I get placed here? I'm better than that. And I'm gonna drop some controversial opinion right here. Y'all can agree with me or not. If you get placed in gold, you deserve to be in golds. There's a reason. There is something fundamental about it. And that means too, if you placed mid diamond and you fall all the way to gold, yes, you can say, oh, leavers, throwers, all you want. There's not enough leaving and throwing to make you lose 20 games in a row, which you must have to get back to gold like that.
And to touch on that, I will admit, when I dropped from Almost Masters, I will admit, I wasn't playing to my Almost Masters capability. I really, that situation really got me, my view on the game changed that instant. I knew I needed to play for myself versus my team, but that dropped me even lower because, believe it or not, mid to low diamond, there's some team coordination. Not a lot, but some. And in those situations,
more than you'll find.
I wasn't doing anything team related. Does that make sense?
So maybe you're going big, but
you're
not having the team behind you if you get the 6-man shatter, but you got no one behind you, what's that?
And
really
I'm getting pissed at them
the
for not
fight?
being there, and I should be pissed at myself because I don't have the awareness that no one's behind me.
Exactly. And honestly, that's a perfect example of kind of what I'm talking about. If you're in golds and you're hitting those, let's say you're a Reinhardt player and you're hitting those 6-man shatters, or let's say, let me think of anyone else other than a tank. Let's say you're Junkrat, right? And you go and you get a huge 3-man Riptire, right? Yeah. But let's say that you used it and none of your team was there. Let's go back to King's Row, first point.
Yep.
You use it, you get 3 huge picks, but your whole team's dead. You could sit there all you want and be like, guys, go in. What the hell? What's going on? But if your team
Meanwhile,
ain't there,
they're all coming off spawn.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, the spawn on King's Row to the actual point is not like a troop, but it's a significant walk.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
exactly.
It takes a while.
And I mean, yes, from the attacking spawn, yes, it's a little shorter. But the same thing, for example, let's say a D.Va bomb just went off, killed 4 people on your team instantly. Then you Riptire and do it. And you're sitting there and you're like, wow, I have really good Riptire. Why was none of my team there to follow up? I'm better than this? No, you're not. Because you should have had the awareness to sit back and be like, hey, that D.Va bomb killed my whole team. Yes, I might get this huge ultimate here, but it's not going to contribute. It's not contributing anything to the team fight because everyone's just going to respawn and then you're back. And you can do that all day long. But a lot of that, yes, is awareness And a lot of that still could be the reason if you feel like you're popping off as Junkrat or Reinhardt or something like that, but you're not going anywhere. Maybe you just need to evaluate your awareness.
Yeah. Right, and I
think with that, I feel like that's a
great
you
place
feel comfortable?
Yeah, I do, because I wanted to get into the overtake of Minecraft, to be honest, because with going back to Fortnite briefly, how the mechs have, I don't want to say like negatively impacted the community, but no one wants to play Fortnite anymore because of the mechs. And I couldn't be speaking for myself because I haven't played in who knows how long, but I've noticed a significant amount of like big name streamers who play Fortnite a lot who are now playing Minecraft and are enjoying it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped, because yeah, it's nice to mix up your games, but not to gas up Minecraft, but there's so much to do in it. Like, and there always has, and just for it getting the recognition now by all these big name streamers, like, it's taking over. Do you think that?
So, well, I know recently, I think Minecraft actually just took over again as the most popular game on YouTube, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could back me up on that, but it actually overtook Fortnite again, I believe. Yeah.
And I think the good thing about Minecraft is that everyone is so confident / comfortable knowing how good of stable, balanced, if you want to even call it balanced game it is, that whenever a new game comes out and it gets the hype like Fortnite, but it dies down, Minecraft's always going to be there. Like,
that's true. Minecraft has not gone anywhere.
It hasn't. Like, it's just
Microsoft may own it, but it ain't dead.
Yeah. And I don't know where I was going with that, but like, I just wanted to briefly talk about that because it's, like I said, it's not going anywhere. Like, it's just getting the spotlight again.
You know what's interesting is it's not competitive.
It isn't.
Which really is kind of it's interesting is because the whole reason Fortnite got popular on YouTube was because it was, a lot of people enjoyed watching, like, the top tier Fortniters just go and build
destroy
offs,
average
have
people
crazy
like
10 20 player games.
Yep.
Just going off. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot more competitive, but it's interesting that Minecraft is not a competitive game. It's so interesting how it's just kind of I don't know. It's just kind of taken over. Well, yeah, it's really weird. And we've reached the part of the podcast where we talk about our sponsor. Because it's our first podcast, we don't have any sponsors. But that's okay. We're just going to self-plug for now. You can find us on Twitter at Jerplex and at Recursive Fruit. And if you feel the need, go ahead and subscribe to us on Patreon, where we will have the spiciest of memes and exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. All right, back to the podcast.
And we're back. Sorry for that intermission, but we're just gonna hop into the next topic.
Down here, that was fun.
What was that?
My mom came down here.
Oh, no, but I think
my mom says hi to all the viewers.
Hi. Wait. Cut. No, I'm kidding. No, but to get into our next topic, more for you. Tell us about technology, man, and how.
I gotcha.
Yeah, just tell us about technology, because I do have a topic here I want to talk about that I've heard about, but I'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. No. So I got some stuff here, and none of this has to be like long. I wanted to call this the quick bits because I just wanted this to be kind of like quick bits of like tech news you could sink your teeth into, but I'm not like talking about what the i9 8087 is doing for Intel right now.
I have no clue what that means.
I know that's it. For the audience. I'm a huge computer guy. I develop in Linux. I write Python, Java, HTML, Bash, you name it. That's my thing. If I'm not playing Overwatch or COD, I'm doing this. Yeah, whatever. And I
your Twitter says, all that in the day, Overwatch, Orisa main, tank at night.
Hey, I mean that's my Twitter description.
So go follow him.
But that's my. So
go follow me.
At Recursive Fruit. Yeah, let's just plug it.
But continue.
Yeah, no. So honestly, I'm gonna ask the audience here. We need a good name for what this section is gonna be called. Right now, it's just tech news. I want something catchy. So, Jeremy, if you think of something, audience, if you think of something,
I got you.
let me know. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about, straight from 9 to 5 Mac, is this jeweler made a custom 18 karat gold pair of AirPods. Jeremy,
What?
would you ever buy
No.
18 karat gold
No.
AirPods?
I'm sorry, but the flex is already enough to drop $150 to $200 on AirPods. Like, I don't.
Oh, come on, you come on, just plate it in gold, dude. Like, what's wrong with it?
That's
Like if you're gonna go and get the AirPods, you gotta go all the way. Like, come on. If you're gonna flex, like you don't half flex. You gotta just be like, look at me in these 18 karat gold AirPods.
But that's a flex that's not needed. All right, I will make the argument. Maybe if you're rich enough to have the money left over, be like, maybe I'll just have to get these. But like, I know that that's not necessary. There are more to life than 18 karat gold AirPods. Sorry.
Huh. I mean, at that point, you're earning more than a 6-figure salary. At that, if you can drop money on 18 karat gold AirPods, you gotta be getting 6 figures. If you're not getting 6 figures from your job, you're doing it wrong. What was I gonna say here? Oh yeah, he called it the Air Golds.
He called them the Air Golds. Oh my gosh.
Stupid name or accurate?
I guess accurate and stupid, but I do want to briefly touch about Apple because I heard in another podcast that I completely forgot, but that apparently Apple is coming out with their like own streaming platform. Is that correct?
Ooh, all right, you got me with that one. Actually, that wasn't. I thought you were going somewhere else with that, but yeah, no, Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, because
so it's a.
I only say that because there's this whole talking thing about is Netflix dying, which I don't think it is, but when I heard, and don't quote me on this, I heard this, that Apple got a show for Steve Carell. Is that correct?
I don't know.
But that is
a good question.
That is huge for Apple. And it's just a person. Like, imagine all the other big names Apple can get. But just starting with Steve Carell, for those of you who don't know, like, he is pretty much why The Office became the meme, the popular show. Like, he's the reason, pretty much.
Oh, yeah. No, you look at the UK version of The Office versus the American version of The Office. I mean, if anyone's talking about The Office, they're talking about the American version.
99% of the time.
It's all him. It's all, and I mean, it's all Steve Carell. And actually, just while we're talking about other big names, they also do have Oprah.
Really?
Oprah is going to be launching her own thing on Apple TV Plus as well. Yeah, so they do have some big names here. A lot of it is still, is still kind of like speculation right now. Like they've been revealing some stuff here, some stuff there. I don't know what show that was for, but I also just saw Jennifer Aniston just kind of pop up as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah. I know they're also having a documentary on the moon landing, like a.
Do you think it was real or fake?
We went to the moon. Come on, shut up, shut up. If you don't believe we went to the moon and you believe the Earth's flat, this podcast is not for you. I will tell you to get the fuck out of here. Bleep that, but yeah. If you believe the Earth is flat, this podcast is not for you.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that.
Anyways, yeah.
I just wanted to touch on that Netflix one briefly because I don't know anything about that industry. But like I said, I heard it, and it was very interesting because I have a Netflix subscription, and if it's pretty much going to die and like get rid of all the shows, because another thing too, Disney's coming out with their own Disney Plus, and how they bought out Marvel. All the Marvel hero movies, like obviously like Avengers, Black Panther, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a different thing. I'm not talking about that. But they're probably going to leave Netflix and go to Disney now. And on top of Disney letting you watch all the original Disney shows and movies, Disney, Apple, and Amazon, plus Google, will be ruling this world in the matter of time. That's all I'm saying for now.
You okay living in a world that it's run, all the entertainment comes from your corporate overlords? Is that a world you want to live in?
If they do it right, why not? But if they completely screw us, then there will be a backlash, I have a feeling. Like,
if they do it right, it's going to be a shut up and take my money moment.
yeah,
And
exactly.
if they don't, then we're all going to be paying. You know, the whole thing with streaming services was like, okay, oh, why would I pay $200 a month for cable when I could just stream Hulu for, $10 a month?
Exactly. And I'll be honest, sorry to
Except now
interrupt you again.
everyone has their own shit. And no,
Yeah.
sorry, go for it.
No, 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 sorry. I wanted to let you go. Sorry.
Oh no, I mean it's I just think it's like I don't know. I see a day coming where everyone has a Netflix subscription, a Hulu subscription, an Apple TV subscription, Amazon
and
Prime,
not even
and essentially
Netflix and
where you get to the
Hulu.
point where you're paying $100 a month for all your subscriptions.
Yep.
I just think it's interesting that we went from cable, which gave you everything for $200, to at first it being, oh well, screw it, I'm just gonna get Hulu. It's $10 a month. I'm gonna save myself some fat wad of change. And now just with new things being offered everywhere, the marketplace is it's just kind of getting a little saturated. I don't know, for the better or for the worse. I mean,
And
if anything, it
that's
just
when
makes for
Apple,
more good
Disney,
television.
they're all going to strive. Because yes, it's getting saturated, but they know how to do it right. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever you want to do. If they can do this right, they will have everyone in the palm of their hands. And I just wanted to say earlier, like, back to the streaming services. I haven't watched cable TV in like 5 years, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
I'm watching
I dropped it about
YouTube,
2 years ago myself. Yeah.
Netflix, and that's it. Like, that's all I need.
Yeah, of course. And you're gonna have to get that YouTube TV subscription, but
And that's another thing. Like, Hulu, I think Hulu's doing a good job. Like, they have all these cable shows or Hulu originals, whatever. But like, if you pay like, I think it's like an extra $5 or something to get like the Hulu Plus or whatever it's called, you can get live cable right there. Like, that solves it. So I think Hulu will eventually overtake Netflix. Don't quote me, but if it happens, quote me.
Now, I have Hulu myself. The one thing that drives me crazy with Hulu is just the amount of ads. It's
But
just
that's when you
like
pay for it,
Netflix
right?
does not. Well, no, you gotta upgrade. It's like $15 a month to
Jeez.
get Hulu with no ads. I know.
But then you can make
And
the
you're just
argument for
sitting there
Netflix
and
because Netflix now is like 15, I think, right?
I mean, how much is Netflix? I thought it was $9.99 for Netflix.
They bumped it up like if not a year ago, like it's happened. They're close to 15 a month now.
And remember when Netflix just used to like mail you DVDs in the mail?
No, because I never did that. Not until the streaming service
All
happened.
right.
Until the streaming services happened, I never, I don't want to say never, but like I went to like Redbox or Blockbuster. But once Netflix was on my TV and that's all I needed, I didn't need to go to Blockbuster or Redbox anymore.
Now, this is actually a little bit of like new, interesting like information that I'm getting right now. So we were just talking about the Disney Plus service. That's only $7 a month.
Holy, yeah, that's gonna definitely no.
Yeah,
But we just wait.
That's
They're gonna do the
that's
corporate thing.
competitive.
Just watch. They're gonna start at 7. They're gonna introduce something everyone's been waiting for, just to bump the price up to say $15 to $20. I'm calling it.
Avengers Endgame 2 only
Bruh.
on Disney Plus.
Phase 2 or whatever phase the Marvel universe it is in. It's like,
Yeah.
but
Actually, I have one more news story, just to jump into it really quick here. Just because we were talking about streaming services, have you heard of Plex before?
Plex?
Plex, Plex.
No, I have not.
Oh, okay. So Plex, I don't physically use it, but I know people who do use it, and it's essentially it's kind of like a service. It's free. It's a completely free service where you can go and you can essentially self-host all of your movies and TV shows and stuff like that. The idea being that you can kind of bring in. So you could bring it like you burn in like DVDs that you already have, and you essentially create a digital copy of them that you can then sync across all your devices. So if you got a bunch of like DVDs laying around with some of your favorite movies, some of the problems that people face is that, okay, well, I have all these DVDs that I paid a lot of money for, but I can't watch them on my phone. I can't watch them on my laptop, stuff like that. Plex essentially takes that. It kind of brings the whole like all of that in full circle. So you essentially just upload the movie from your disc.
So you're saying the Thor Ragnarok disc that I have right here, I plug it into my laptop or put it in my laptop, download it with Plex or whatever, and then if I get the Plex app on my iPad or phone, whatever, I can watch it on there?
I believe so.
That is ridiculous. Wow.
And it essentially it syncs. So if you have a smart TV, you can get the Plex app on your smart TV too, and all of that shows up there. They got their web browser, I believe. All right. So sorry, that's just Plex. That's what Plex is. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because Plex is actually partnering with a movie studio to offer a package of free streaming films. So when we're in this age where we were just talking about, what we're paying for streaming and stuff like that, Plex is actually partnering up to give you some more free stuff. And I'm trying to say, it's with Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow.
A package of library feature films titles from Warner Brothers via the Plex app for free.
Now, for those
films will
who
be
don't
supported
know
with
how
ads,
big...
but partnership in the latest. Yeah,
Sorry.
it's going to have ads, but yeah.
Long story short, Warner Bros. Are huge. If you don't know who they are, just Google them. Look at all the movies they made. Like,
get a quick Google search up there.
That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, man, there's a whole. I'm reading this article right now. Yeah, there's a lot more information. I'm going to probably link this in the show notes here, just so that way we get that, so everyone can read it. There's a lot of actually good information in this that would kind of be interesting for people. But no, I just kind of wanted to bring that up, just because we're talking about streaming and everything like that. And I mean, Plex is, it's making a name for itself. It's something different. It's not your standard Netflix, Hulu, everything like that. But it does have for proprietary software, it does have a unique place in the market for a lot of people.
Yeah, I never heard of it, but that actually sounds... All right, I don't want to be that guy, but like, if I've heard of Plex, or if it was out a few years ago, I probably would have been doing that all the time. But now I really don't think I need to, because all the movies I watch are already streamed for me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, and I forgot the best part about Plex. So I take back what I said. So I think if you want to self-host all your stuff so only you can watch it, then it's free. But if you want to have it so that way multiple devices can use Plex at the same time, I believe then you pay a subscription for that. But with that, essentially anyone can watch what you have in your Plex library. All you have to do is shoot them a link to essentially if that stems from Flex, you shoot them a link from Flex. Anyone can watch it. So even if you have like a friend, you don't need to you don't need to give them all your account information and everything like that. I believe you just send them a link and they can watch it.
Here's a link to the movie.
It's self-hosted off your own laptop. But yeah, no, you can essentially do that and it plays great.
That's ridiculous. But I do think that's a great note to end on. And for those listening,
that was great.
We are going to be available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I think that's it for now. But as time goes on,
YouTube as well.
YouTube?
We're going to do YouTube.
Okay, YouTube.
I got that. That's on me.
All right, on YouTube. And for those who really want to see this podcast take off, if you want to support us at Patreon, we will have a Patreon link. You don't have to. You can do it for as little as $1 a month. But we will start that, and we will be posting. Don't take it personal. By us still, Connor and myself. And we're just going to review what we talked about / add some things. It'll be a much shorter podcast than this was. But yeah, if you want to, the link will be there. Patreon. Support us, and eventually, depending on how many Patreons we got, we can maybe get some videos in this and actually have a video podcast. And with that being said, anything you want to say, Connor?
Buy some gaming PC. Well, I was going to say, if you support us on Patreon, I can afford a gaming PC, and we can start, hop on Mixer, Mixer with Ninja and start game streaming.
And I definitely do want to start streaming, and I always say I'm going to, just don't have the best setup at the moment, but yeah, when we get
support
our
us on Patreon, and we'll do it.
Yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next one.